been saying all off season that USC is the most intriguing team in the Big Ten. Nebraska's right there as well. Also, let's add a third. Keep an eye on Washington and head coach Jedd Fisch. Is he one of the best head coaches in the game? Well, he has not proven that yet, but he's done some nice things both at Arizona, of course, where he took over a debacle from Rich Rodriguez and company, turned it into a 10-3 season his final year that set up the Washington elevation, of course, taking over for Kalen DeBoer. Keep in mind that this 2024 unit at Washington was the most overturned franchise roster coaching staff in the history of college football. You say, Mark, that's hyperbole. Prove it. New head coach, new coaching staff, new quarterback, Will Rogers, to start the season. 21 of 22 starters. Different. And if that's not enough to sell you, they changed conferences. They didn't even play in the same conference as they moved to the Big Ten. They went 6-7, 4-5 in the conference. Had some nice wins, like against Michigan. Had some narrow losses. They went to Rutgers, traveled cross country, lost on the last second field goal on a Friday night. So a difficult road trip for Washington there. They lost at the goal line, going in for the winning touchdown against Washington State when they were stopped on a fourth down. So they had some close losses in which they could have possibly turned the season, including 35-34 in the Sun Bowl against Louisville. But what turned out to be the positive there was the quarterback play of Damon Williams. He accounted for over 400 yards, 374 through the air, 5 total touchdowns, 4 through the air. It's the offensive line, I think, that is going to be super key for this Washington bunch. It was deplorable last season, the worst unit on the team, but they picked up Carver Willis, top transfer from Kansas State, and also Garion Hatchett, who played for the Huskies for Kalen DeBoer, and then he returns to play with his brother along the offensive front after 1 year in Norman, Oklahoma. Also, you've got Jonah Coleman, another transplant from Tucson, Arizona, 1,000 yards rushing, 10 touchdowns, one of the best backs in the Big Ten. And also wide receiver Denzel Boston. He is a player, 63 catches, 9 touchdowns. They took Omari Evans. They also took Omari Evans from Penn State. They've got some young receivers they like and also have an excellent tight end in All-America Decker DeGraff. This unit, despite all that talent I just outlined, 100th in rushing offense because of the offensive line and because they had a really good quarterback, but a system quarterback in Will Rogers did not have the threat of a run. Rogers got hurt, also gave one up for the team and gave way to Damon Williams. They were 104th in scoring. That is going to improve drastically. Now we move to the defense. They've got an opportunity, despite a high ranking on that side of the football, to get better because enter one defensive coordinator in Ryan Walters, who coordinated a number 1 defense in the nation at Illinois, which set him up for the Purdue head coaching job. Things didn't go well as the head coach, but now he gets back his defensive coordinator role, this time in replacing Steve Belichick. Washington picks up one of the best cornerbacks in the nation, Takario Davis, from, guess where? Zona. Bear down. They've got a redshirt freshman coming in Rayshawn Clark, who's an up-and-comer. 6 transfer portal additions along the front 7. Most of these guys are depth pieces, except a few here to keep an eye out. Ta'itai Uiagalelei had 8 tackles for loss at, fill in the blank, you get one guess, Arizona. Also, they picked up 2 of the top linebackers in the transfer portal. The number 1 tackler at Washington State, Tariq Al-Uqda, who led the Cougars with 76 tackles and 3 interceptions, and then also UCF's number 2 tackler in Zuri Alexander with 68 stops and 6 tackles for loss. For the Knights, they kept one of their top linebacking tacklers, 47 out of Jacob Manu. This is the 28th rated defense in the country, despite taking on a lot of high-powered offenses like Penn State and USC and Oregon and others. Louisville in the bowl game giving up 35 points. 28th in total defense. Guess what? They should be better. Now let's check out the schedule for the Huskies. Ohio State, Illinois, Oregon at home. That could be good. That could be bad, of course. because they may not beat Ohio State or Oregon anywhere. But I do think that they're going to have a shot to take on the Ducks and take them down in that final game. They go on the road in the Apple Cup, also at Michigan, and the Wolverines are going to have incentive to knock them off and avenge that 2024 loss. And then, of course, Wisconsin, probably not a good football team record-wise, but they gave Penn State and Oregon a heck of a fight at Camp Randall, and Wisconsin, of course, notoriously very difficult to play at Wisconsin. Again, let's look to that offensive line as the key for the Huskies this season. I think they're rock solid just about everywhere else. Ohio State, Oregon at home. Maybe they pull off an upset, or maybe they get the key home win against Illinois. They play a lot of teams on their tier on the road. I'm going to have Washington pulling through with most of the games that they need to win as W's. Well, that's a W, so let's go with that and go with 9-3, 6-3 for the Huskies in the Big Ten for 2025. Leave your comments and questions down below. Keep in mind that we've got a daily show with the Voice of College Football called, what else? The College Football Show, Monday through Friday, 4 p.m. Eastern Time, right here at the Voice of College Football.